Welcome to Take Two, where we get down to the nitty gritty and talk all things relationships. Say hey, babe.
Hey now.
And hello. Welcome back to Take Two with your girl, Tiffany and...
Babe.
Huh?
I think you should come on as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello.
Babe.
I'm being too extra.
It's too much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it's late at night.
Well, they don't know what time it is.
Mm.
And you have to put on that perception that it's not what it really is.
You know, I've come to the conclusion in
Here we go.
my years of living that I'm not a very good person at putting on a front.
Oh, you're not?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I give it to you raw, uncut, and unadulterated.
So you're not circumcised?
Like a filterless cigarette from the 70s.
I can't. Why are you so extra? You want to talk about me coming on to Miss Doubtfire like I'm being extra? Why are you extra, dear?
Well, number one, my name is Aaron. Y'all can follow me on social media as the real Aaron. And I'm the star of the show.
If you could have seen, his eyebrows had to raise with the real Aaron.
That's correct.
I don't know what he's talking about. He's the star of the show. Let's go back to when I decided to start this podcast. He wasn't even sure this was something that he wanted to do.
Right.
So now you're the star of the show?
Right. I bring it the personality.
Oh, you think so?
I know so.
Wow. Okay. And how did you come about this conclusion?
Well, I've come to the conclusion that all 6 people who sit and listen to this podcast...
You're such an asshole.
the 4 of them are listening just to hate. And the other 3...
That's 7.
Oh, what did I say?
6. He's the star, but he can't even do common math.
And the other 2, look, I told you it was late. And the other 2 that's listening to it, you know, they know the truth.
Is the other 2 us?
That's a good point. Maybe there's 8 people that listen
8
to this
people?
podcast.
8 or 9?
What's 9 plus 10? 21.
Wow.
No, it's not.
You're right. No, it's not.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Anyhow, so tell us how your week has been since our last podcast.
If your breasts come any further out your shirt, my weekend's gonna be a whole lot better than my week was.
Oh my gosh, babe.
I hate you. Wow.
Okay, let's get back to the facts. Babe.
What? What are we talking about? Oh, we're doing a recap from the week.
Yes. How has your week been?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. I'd really like to hear from some of the people who actually listen. And even if you're listening just to hate on us, you can tell me how your week was, man. You know, I'm a very understanding person.
Well, we have to do the interaction when we get to our IG Live. I keep saying every week, oh, next week we're going to do it.
Right.
But every time we decide to record, because if you haven't noticed, we have not been doing this routinely, so there's not a specific day of the week. Right. Like we had originally started, we kind of at this point just do it when we can. But I'm trying to get it more on a schedule. So hopefully next season, because this is the last episode of season 2.
Right.
And season 2, we've kind of been all over the place because a lot has happened and transpired in our lives since we started season 2. So season 3, maybe we'll have our shit together. But I said all that to say...
What did you say all that to say?
I don't even remember. What did you say? Oh, the IG Live. So... So
2 people literally just clicked off the podcast right now.
We're stuck.
Now we're just left with haters.
So it's not like it's live, babe. They can't listen to it until I upload it.
No, I'm saying when they listen to it.
Oh, they're going to leave.
This is the moment when it hit them.
Oh, okay. So,
Oh, okay.
so anyway, the IG live. Every time I say, "Oh, we're gonna do that next week," when we start recording, like I said, it's at a whim. So it's late at night, and I don't, really want to get on IG live this late, with the chance of there not being a big audience. So I promise next week we're going to do IG live as we're recording the podcast. That way we can have live feedback. And I promise, starting the next season, which will be season 3.
Three.
Woo!
Trace.
We will do the IG live podcast. So start thinking of your questions now. I would try to shoot for a day and a time, but I can't think of one right now that works for my husband and I. So stay up to date on our social media and holdthemail.com so you know when we're going live. Yeah. Anywho, so that's all you had to say about your week, babe?
I really didn't say much about it. I was overtaken by Instagram Live and everything else.
You're being real ornery this evening.
Babe, I feel like I was ornery when you met me.
You're right.
Right.
But anyway, go on and finish about your week. He got the nerve to say overtake. Usually it's him. I ask him a question and he's just going on and on and on, and I'm sitting here looking at him like these people are about to be bored out of their lives.
You keep rubbing on it, it's gonna fall all the way out. My week was pretty decent. Of course, we know this week we had Hurricane
Miguel Sanchez.
Yeah, that kind of blew through and brought fall weather with it.
I love it.
Over here on the East Coast. So we'll see what happens with that. I know, it's my magical time of year where I'm going to be super busy and no one's going to be able to find me. And
oh, your wife's going to be able to find you, because if I can't find you, it's going to be a problem.
Well, babe, me and you is like soulmates. All you got to do is close your eyes and think long and hard, slightly curved. And so you'll be able to find me.
I know that our podcast is marked explicit, but you are...
For good reason.
Well, my week, ladies and gentlemen... Wow.
This is why I can't talk about my week, because I'm constantly being cut off.
How
does it feel?
You had like 30 minutes to tell us about your week, and you're still not done?
We've been recording for 30 minutes?
Yes.
That's not even possible.
I may be exaggerating a bit.
By 20 minutes.
But you're still not done talking about your week?
Babe, I really don't care about these people knowing about my week.
Ooh, wow. He's when it's not his week to come up with the topic, he is in a way. And I don't think that's fair, because when he kicks off the podcast and it's his turn to have a topic, he's all in, balls to the wall. Let's do this podcast. Like, he's asking me or bugging me about the podcast. And now babe, I don't really care if these people...
I thought today was my go.
It's not your go. You went last time.
Seriously?
Yes.
Accidents happen.
Wow. So really quick before he gets, all up in arms, let me tell you about my week.
Please.
So, since we spoke to you all last, I took Aaron on, and he didn't even tell you this, a wonderful magical surprise last Saturday.
That was awesome.
I took him, blindfolded him, and had him ride 2.5 hours. He did not know where he was going or what he was doing. And we went to the Endless Summer Cruisin down in Ocean City, Maryland. If we have any True People fans out there, you've seen it already on social media, and you've seen it already on holdthemayo.com. But took him there. He had a great time. I was really nervous. I was really nervous about taking him. I didn't know if this is something that he was going to want to do.
Cool.
I know that he's obsessed with cars. It's a great passion of his. But we had a really good time. Even got me amped up. So yeah, that kicked everything off. And then, just had to work. And I've been cooking all this week. Usually that's Aaron's forte, but we kind of switched it up just a little bit. And so, yeah, now here we are with going into a fabulous weekend. We have some fun things planned for the kids. So, yeah, it's been pretty darn good. Pretty darn productive. Yes, if I do say so myself. Now, to get into the nitty gritty, because I don't want to be, I don't want Aaron complaining because it's not his topic. But I'm dead. I kind of had two things that I want to talk about, but I think I'm just going to go with one of them and save the other topic for when it's my turn again. Okay. But this time I wanted to talk about family. Uh-oh. Here we go. And specifically about in-laws.
Well, that's the show for tonight.
And I wanted to talk about in-laws because this is a very kind of touchy subject in our world. Okay. But I kind of wanted to discuss how important it is to have that aspect of family. Yes. In your lives when you get married. So, how important you feel like it is to have in-laws involved. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because in our marriage, Aaron, knows and talks to his in-laws and he's around them, whereas me, not so much. And not really anything that isn't in or under my control. So I just want to know, how important is that? Is that something that's really important, or is that something that you can do without? And try not to be biased considering our situation, but just in a general aspect.
No. That's how I was going to answer it anyway. I think human beings are social creatures. We thrive when we're in packs together. We can bounce ideas off each other, and the survival rate is a lot higher. Except for Chicago, Baltimore, and New York, and downtown LA. Other than those places. Wow. Hey now. Other than those places, I think we thrive when we, stick together. So I think that's part of the human need, is to have that support. Now, I think it's a fine balance between having support and having a nosy neighbor or a nosy in-law telling you what to do in your household. So I would say you want support. But at the same time, I think it's also crucial that your in-laws, your outlaws, whoever they may be, don't push too far. Don't interject on the marriage and tell you how to raise your children, tell you how to take care of your house, tell you how to wipe your butt, tell you how to go to work, tell you which way to go to work, what kind of gas to put in your car, what gas station not to stop at.
I think we get it.
You get the point.
Yes. You was about to go on a whole, I didn't know how far that was going to go.
I had a long list.
I'm sure you did. That's why I had to stop you where you were.
That's best. My better half, truly. Round of applause for Tiffany Jones. So I think support is very crucial. I think, it's what we need, especially younger marriages where, the two people getting involved and saying I do are younger and a tad more inexperienced. I think it's, that's one of those things. Everybody wants to have somebody back them and somebody in their corner. Right. I think that's only natural. And I think most people are pretty sensible. And they don't put their nose too far in your business. So I think it's a fine balance. But yes, How important is it to have the in-laws support? If I had to rank it a 1 out of 10, I'd say it's fairly important.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's 8 out of 10. Even from a standpoint of that even draws in other family members, brothers, sister-in-laws. A lot of times if the matriarch of the family is the male, a patriarch. If the mother's matriarch and or patriarch of the family, be it the in-laws, a lot of times you'll see that sometimes that might affect how the others, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, whatever the case, may act towards you. So yeah, I think it's pretty crucial. Plus, on the last note, is that with the in-laws, I think you can learn more about your spouse and significant other by seeing what kind of camp they came out of. So I think sometimes that can be a good nod in the right direction. Just listening to, your grandmother and your dad, your mom, your grandmother, and people who played a role in raising you, gave me better insight into what kind of person you were. So, yeah, pretty important.
Yeah, I think that having your in-laws is an important factor. I think it's important because, like you said, it gives you a good sense of the background that your spouse has and
right.
The people who were around them all their lives and kind of know everything about them, down to the nitty-gritty. I think, there's been pros and cons to things and events that happen and transpire in my life.
Okay.
Because whenever certain life events happen, for me, they're never, I guess you could say, traditional.
Okay.
So the issues that other people may have in the same life event, I never really seem to experience because mine is always different. So, for example, when people have children, others are like, oh, children are so expensive, babies are so expensive, and this, and that. Like, it's not a good idea to have children until you're ready, X, Y, Z. So when I had my son, granted, life changed for me. It was different. But I never experienced that, oh, a child is so expensive and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Because I always had such a great support system. So to me, having a child was easy.
Like a breeze.
It was easy peasy. But I guess people who have stated that before, they had some type of struggle along the way.
Right.
And for me, I guess it wasn't the traditional way, so I could never say that to somebody else.
Makes sense.
It's a horrible experience. Like, kids are super expensive, diapers and formula and this, and that. I had some type of assistance, so I never really had like that struggle with children. Same thing with marriage. Sometimes you hear people who say that they have a hard time with their in-laws, or it's different. Again, my situation is not traditional. So as of right now, I don't know what that is like to have the in-law who is, either a good thing or a bad thing. They're either too much in your business or not enough in your business, or, so I haven't experienced that. So for me, thus far, whereas for other people, that is something that could potentially affect their marriage. That's not an issue for us because it's not an issue,
Right.
So for me, like I said before, certain events that usually transpire in other people's lives that may be effective aren't effective to me because the things that I go through seem to not be traditional. But I feel like having your in-laws is, like I said, very important because it helps you kind of understand and get a kind of grounded balance of your spouse,
right,
and their background and where they come from, and you also kind of have somebody to talk to. Because if you're feeling some type of way and I'm not used to you being that way, I could go to your mom, I could go to your dad, I can go to your brothers and sisters and say, has he experienced this before? Or
get some insight.
Has this happened before?
Right.
And so I think that's important to have because, like I said, you want to go to the people who's been around your spouse from the very beginning. They kind of know the ins and outs of how they tick and how they work. And so I think it is very important. I know people who experience their in-laws and don't have a good experience would probably say different. But to me, I think...
Is this one of those cases where it's like you can't miss what you've never had?
Well, yeah. So, definitely for me, because I don't interact with my in-laws. So... And I've never been married before, so I don't know what it's like to have that. I mean, I kind of experienced it when I had Jalen, because I used to interact with his grandparents and his family on that side. But it's different when you're just boyfriend and girlfriend compared to when you're married. And, like, your in-laws are now your family. And so I don't know what I'm missing because I've never had that. I don't have... a mother-in-law that I can just call and say, oh, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z for Aaron's birthday, or we're doing this, we're going to have dinner, do you guys want to come up? Like, I don't have that experience, so I don't know what it's like to have that bond with your spouse's family. I mean, I would love to have that experience, but, I don't know what it's like.
So consequently, you might be in a better position not having to deal with it. But I guess at the same time, maybe you're missing out. But
yeah, I mean, I feel it's like a catch-22 because I'm missing what I don't have, but at the same time, like you hear so many stories about how wives don't get along with their mother-in-laws.
Monster-in-law.
And
dun,
all
dun,
of those
dun.
things, and I don't want to have like bad blood with my in-laws, and I don't want it to get to a point where I'm like, look, babe, you gotta do something about your mom.
You want to shed blood with your in-laws.
Yeah, so it's like a catch-22 because I don't want to have that bad experience, but I want to know what I'm missing. I want to be able to experience it, but I don't want it to be a bad experience. So it's like a catch-22. So.
Well, I think with any other human being, and not to be partial to our situation, but I think we all seemingly do better when we all kind of stick together and support each other and help each other out where we can, and but for everything there's a time and a season, and in our particular situation, I'm fairly confident. Just be careful what you ask for.
Look, I was getting ready to say, maybe I should, it's one of those, be careful what you wish for type of things.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, but, I mean, in-laws and brother-in-law, sister-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, I think that's, it's all a big role in relationships, and, sometimes it means a little extra emotional support. Sometimes it can be a babysitter at the last minute. Sometimes it can be, the support comes in all different sizes. So if you got it, don't take it for granted.
Amen.
And if you don't got it,
count your lucky stars. Just kidding. I don't know. If you don't got it, what?
I don't really know how to finish that up.
No.
So I'm just gonna continue to stare at your chest.
Well,
if you don't get it, you don't get it.
You don't get it. Yep, there you go. Well, thank you for participating in that question, babe.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And I meant to say this at the beginning. I apologize if you get bad reverb from the mics. We're using the mics again. And I stopped using them for a while because they were giving out this annoying humming sound in the podcast. I'm hoping that's not the case with this episode, but just in case it is, I do apologize. And once we play it back, we'll know whether we can use these mics or not going forward.
Right.
Yeah, but that is our show for this evening. Thanks for joining us once again.
Mm-hmm.
As always, like, review, subscribe, all that good stuff to our podcast. We thoroughly enjoy doing these for you all.
And we want you all to enjoy them.
And we want you to
in
enjoy them.
In every capacity.
And we would like for your feedback and any comments that you have or any advice, any suggestions. We are so open to all of that. And we are ending out season 2 with a big high five.
Hey!
Woo! And we are excited to have our shit together for season 3. Can we shake on this, babe, that we're going to have our shit together?
Well, you have your left hand extended towards me. And I was taught growing up that's the enemy handshake.
Oh, okay. Let me give you my right hand. Can we vow to have our shit together?
With this ring, repeat after me. With this ring, I do. Yes. We're going to have our stuff together going
season
into
3.
the new year. Season 3.
Oh, wow. He's already telling lies. All right. So that is our episode for tonight.
I promise nothing.
And we hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next episode of TakeTew.
Drink 2.
Drink 2, 2.
2. In a 2.
2. Drink. It could be that too.
I'd like to drink from both of them.
All right. Say bye, babe.
Bye-bye.